even if you are not in a good mood, but once he kiss you, then I think the 90% problem is already solved. So that tricks works.
Hi, I'm Pankaj. I'm Alka's husband.
Hi, I'm Alka. I'm Pankaj 5.
We've been married for
Last 30 years.
first meeting was in a social gathering, and it was in one of our auntie's place. I think the year was, if I'm not wrong, 1991. I remember I was wearing a black jodhpuri, and she was also wearing a black a suit.
And that was not planned. Actually, I find him, he was looking very handsome that time. And I find him a nice guy.
Yeah, I think just a brief interaction. Hello, what are you doing nowadays? Have you finished your graduation? Just a casual chat.
It was very, very casual.
I think she was a reasonably charming person. Yeah. We had an idea that our parents are considering us for a possible marriage.
My father told me, okay, this is now it's time to get married, and like this is the guy we like. So why don't you go and meet? So there is like a possibility of getting married.
So the viewpoint with which you look at the person was slightly different, right? Are the marriages arranged by parents is quite a norm in India. It is even now it is a norm, but it is reducing. It was not a given as well that you have to marry that person. But arranged marriage was also something that was very much on the cards.
Yeah, there was no like forcing.
No, I think I remember clearly. In fact, her father had been coming to her house since '83 when I was in O level. Her father was kind of looking at my growth through the teenage years, so he knew the type of person that I was turning into. Somehow he used to like me. I can say for sure.
Yes, he was very fond of him actually.
So we went to a banquet hall where we were invited, and his brother was getting married, and that was a little longer. I think we spoke a little longer in that meeting, and I could see her friends, trying to tease her, is he the guy, and this type of naughty things they were.
Yeah, cousins and everybody was so excited. Friends were expecting, oh, the guy is coming. Let's talk and find out some more. He was working in Voltas that time, so everybody gave the name Mr. Voltas. So my friends and everything, oh, Mr. Voltas is here, something like that.
My brother is also playing tricks and pinching me around and all that. It was okay. Another hello and another meeting.
Yeah, just little more than other guests. Some VIP treatment. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody is asking me, did you take dinner?
There were so many thoughts going on. So I will say I was a bit nervous that time. Yeah.
Now after 30 years of marriage, I can say things differently. But at that time, it is always like, is it right? Is it now? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I wait? And those questions will haunt you till the time you get married. I think there is no way to answer those questions until you tie the knot.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, December of '92, her father came for this New Year and exchanging sweets. Then he formally asked my parents, like, look, we've been thinking about it for so long. Do you have any objections or problems if we invite you formally now for considering a marriage proposal? And my parents said, no, we know you and your family for so long, we know the girl for so long. I don't think we have an objection, and we are completely comfortable as long as the children are okay. After his father left, I was very I was a bit concerned, because my mother would be willing to give approval to almost any girl she met, even if it was not Alka or anybody else. Basically she would say, okay, yeah, fine, let's do it. So she was kind of eager and curious to get me married, and I was concerned by this, that if she goes with us or with me, then she will make sure that the thing is done and dusted then.
I think I was ready to get married, and the things are getting in the corner. So I was more or less prepared at that time. that okay, now the things are getting into shape.
But I was kind of still in a neutral state. Yeah, it's okay. There's nothing bad. Family seems all right. Something like that. I think her parents called our house to check, like, is it a yes? Is it a no? What is the decision? So my parents said to them same thing. He says okay. Now the 6 weeks passed, and her father was getting kind of like, what now?
Yeah.
So he didn't wait then. He just came to our house. I had gone to office about half an hour back. So they called me at the office and they said, come back quickly. I said, everything okay? But they didn't tell me anything. My father told me, come back quickly. Then I left office and I came back home. I used to drive motorcycle those days. At 10:30. I sat down and I saw her parents, her father also sitting there. No, I think this time your both parents were there. Father and mother both were there. And they had a menu of a banquet hall of the same place where her brother got married in November. And that had a menu. So what he asked me to do is that you select 3 vegetarians and 2 non-vegetarians and then 5 breads, and so that is what I had to do. So you take, because he says that you may be inviting some friends from your office, because I had a few things at the office. I said, look, is that all? Yeah, is it there? Yeah, that's all. So you can go back now. That was a date.
And that was a big function. There were about 300, 400 guests was around.
Yeah, it was like a major function. So that function basically sealed the the relationship.
All the answers were set. Yes, I was very nervous. You can say I was sad also. And at the same time, you are excited also that you are going to a new place and meeting new people. But there was nervousness that whether you are going to adjust in the family, whether they will like you. I discussed few things with my bestie. We have really long chats on the roof and all that. She said, okay, one day you have to do it, and he looks like a good guy to just go ahead and all that. Like girls talks and all that. So
after the engagement was done, calling each other, and before you call and her mother picks up, you will keep the phone down.
Yeah,
right? So now you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
The restrictions were reduced. I could go to her place if I wanted to. But it is not generally encouraged in an Indian family that once you are engaged, you don't go to your in-laws like
very often.
I think it was good period. We became reasonably good friends. I think there was no fundamental dislike that erupted in that period. In fact, there were many things that I knew. She writes poetry. I didn't know that. She is very artistic. I didn't know that. She's very particular as to not only how she dresses, but how you dress. So she would gift me clothes almost all the time. I mean, I'm almost like every time, now this suit will look nice on you, this tie will look great on you, you shouldn't wear this tie of socks. I mean, so kind of she was dressing me up. So I think those are the things that...
Yeah, of course there was like newness. You have a person you have to discover from head to toe, and there is nervousness also, because you don't know if you behave like this, whether he will like it, he will appreciate it, or he will be annoyed on this. So it's a combination of both things, and then eventually you figure it out. Okay, this will work, this will not work. Actually, he is basically engineering mind, pure engineer. For me, it was very difficult to talk to somebody who only talks science. He have no idea about the arts, theatre. That was a big contrast for me because I don't have anything to talk. And one time before the marriage, we had a fight also that you don't have anything to talk.
That was like something new for me, and I really enjoyed it.
He observes a lot. He's pure Scorpion, passionate person. So he used to tell me, oh, this is a duct, or this is a wind chiller. So that was a very, very different perspective of life. But I enjoyed that. Actually, now when you know the person, I can talk anything with Pankaj. And he is really a complete man, from plumber to electrician to and sometimes I'm busy in the shoots and he really helped me a lot. This is the guy I can rely on for anything.
Essentially, I'm the brain in the house and she adds the beauty, right? Whatever. The socializing that exists. In fact, if I had married probably another engineer, I probably would have missed it completely. because I wouldn't have realized how much I enjoyed even doing a program like this, meeting people on the foyer of a theater or a play, and dressing up, like jackets and all. I mean, it's fun actually.
He enjoy red carpet more than me,
Yeah, I didn't know this. And I didn't know this at all.
Because in arranged marriage, you fall in love every day with the same person. After married, we were happy actually for after married. We were on a honeymoon period for 3 months. So we were just, because he was traveling a lot because of the work and all that. And then we were just coming home to change our suitcase and then flying off again.
And I think I would try and take her with me on any of the office trips and visits. She got pregnant relatively early after the wedding, let's say not around 6 months time. We had our son in March of 95, and that changed our life completely. And at the same time, I got a job in Singapore, and that was, I think, the period of serious discovery of each other. Yeah, I think that was a blessing in disguise. Maybe if I had not moved out of the family to a place like Singapore, I think maybe the relationship would not be as blissful. No argument. I mean, no major argument in 30 years. Nothing. No fight, no argument. Even if it is a fight, it won't last more than like 30 minutes or something. If she is happy, her happiness is bound to flow into my life, because our life is together. So if she's happy, I will automatically be happy. It was blessing, and I can't thank God enough that I got married to her. In fact, there were opportunities I could have married to another person, and I wonder, in fact I dread, and I dread what would have happened if I had married that person.
Actually, I made a rule, whenever in the family is going out, he have to kiss me. So it's a goodbye kiss, that is a must. And then it's a very small thing, but suppose you are in a bad mood, but there is a rule that you have to kiss me. So it applies to a boy also, my son also, and for him also. So even if you are not in a good mood, but once he kiss you, then I think the 90% problem is already solved. So that tricks works.
In our family, somehow, all three of us, we don't leave the other person if there is a bad patch or something. So confronting each other to talk is something that we practice in our family. Because of the communication, the problem will get solved, and that is.
I think communication is a key.
So it's open and honest, and the end result is always, will it benefit our family?
Yeah, that the goal should be clear in your mind.
Hey Alka, I'm thankful to you for being a wonderful wife and homemaker, for building a great home for us together, being a great mother to our son and raising him very well, being an honest and sincere friend, philosopher and guide, for being supportive when I needed it the most, for being socially active, which has added significantly to my well-being and deepen my connections, for being kind and generous to my family, for being supportive in my career and business endeavors as a trusted partner, for being the lighthouse and moral compass pointing to the right direction when I tend to stray.
Wow, I'm overwhelmed now. Thank you so much. I'm thankful for you for so many things in my life, helping me to discover more about myself. I'm thankful for you for being a wonderful father and bringing food on the table and nurturing Pranjal, our son, and helping us grow together. I'm also thankful for your dedicated, passionate love for me. I'm also thankful for giving me space to grow in terms of career and supporting me in the journey. On a funny note, I'm thankful for you for earning more than I can spend. And I'm thankful for getting along with my family very well. Thank you for being a complete man, from plumber to electrician to a carpenter to a loving and caring husband. I got all in one. Thank you so much.
I would say thank you. I wonder how my life would have been if you were not around.
I think we are very blessed. Thank you for watching this video.
Comment down below on what else you would like to see, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye.